Hi, I'm Clay Womack with ArcLED Light Beds. We presented at Newport Beach and talked about the capital formation offering we were going to be making soon. We have that document available today. We're doing a $3 million convertible debt offering. Coupon's 8.5%. The company's on a $7 million annual run rate right now and growing. We'd love to have your participation in it. See Womack at arcled.com.
Please welcome Clay Womack to the stage. Give him a round of applause, please. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Elias. Appreciate that. Thank you all for coming out today. It's a great crowd. It's always fun to be back home in Santa Monica. I lived here for 16 years and raised my 9 kids and decided tax burden was a little too strong, so I moved to Austin, Texas. I've been in the longevity and the anti-aging business for about 14 years. My wife's a Harvard-trained physician and is board certified in anti-aging regenerative medicine. And quite a few years back, one of our patients had a miraculous healing with hyperbaric oxygen therapy. And for those of you who don't know, hyperbaric oxygen therapy is about 380 years old. And all it is gas physics. Henry's law, gas under pressure goes into solution. And so we're flooding the body with 2,000% oxygen load for healing and dissolving the oxygen into your blood, and it goes 5 times deeper into your perfusion, into your tissues. So it goes past the blood-brain barrier, and it's an incredible baseline healing mechanism for any other biohack you want to do to extend your lifespan. Along with that that's my favorite baseline biohack. And then you add photobiomodulation on top of oxygen therapy, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Is the new? Well, this company is about 8 or 9 years old, but they have the top-rated bed in the industry, and we're going to talk about that today. I've known Mike. I've been coaching him for about 7 years. We use his light beds in our hyperbaric therapy clinics. We have 3 clinics in the Austin market. And I'm a retired investment banker. I used to raise money for companies for about 25 years and got tired of that and went into the health space to help my wife build her practice. And then we ended up having that miraculous healing with one of her patients who talked us into getting a hyperbaric chamber for one of our office spaces. We did that. We've built that into 3 clinics now. We've treated over 6,000 patients. And the health benefits we've seen with stacking a high-powered light bed on top of hyperbaric oxygen therapy is just a game changer. I mean, you're going to be sharper, you'll be better looking, you're going to have more fun. It's, all the things that you've been promised through all this anti-aging stuff. So I met Mike, like I said, about 9 years ago, about the time I was getting in the hyperbaric business, and I bought a couple of his beds for my patients. I sell hyperbaric chambers and light beds to our patients to put in their homes. And he was building a kind of a Chinese knockoff, and I said, Mike, here, I'm going to give you a little friendly advice from a retired investment banker. What you need to do is raise your prices 50% and take that margin and invest it in something that will give me a Thor killer for half price. So he took 8 months, did that, built a completely new bed that looks like this, and the sales just took off. I mean, he had a very, very powerful bed that had, instead of 900 to 1,000 watts. He had 5,000 watts of power. He had 4 different colors of light into his bed, and that's a lot of. If you want, the hard copy of that is at my booth over here. If you want to pick that up, let's flip that. One more time. All right, so we have just gotten this bed installed in Dave Asprey's new Biohack and Upgrade Labs franchise. This is now their de facto baseline bed. We have a new bed that we prototyped over the last 3 years, and we've made our first installs of it. It's called the Elysium machine. Made our first 8 installs in 24-hour fitness because we're taking the bed from just selling it into clinics to building a revenue share model on this bed because it's $180,000 sticker price, and we're just getting a small deposit from the clinic owner, put it in, and doing a rev share. So what we're going to be talking about today, let's see. It's been self-funded so far. It's got a run rate of around $7, $8, $9, $10 million right now. Probably $2.5 million EBITDA this year. We're deployed in all the special forces. They're doing testing on it. The Army's offering to give us a grant to make sure we have production for their special forces units. we're in. I mean, you can look at our logo wall back there and see all the people that are customers of ours. Next slide. So this is a production facility down in Lake Forest. We actually build these in the United States with German engineering and American innovation putting those together. We're trying to expand our production space down there right now, and the company who's currently building these for us is now building another factory in Texas, and we'll believe to be doing a lot of our production out there as it scales up in our revenue share model. So price points on the equipment, the equipment that I have in my clinics right now are run about $90,000, and we see anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 a month in revenue on these light beds, based on per treatment revenue model. And we're also starting to see people that have these beds do membership basis, and that's where we're seeing a jump in revenues at the clinic level, and why we decided to go into the revenue sharing model with our Elysium machine. Next step. So we're doing a $3 million convertible offering. Mike's never raised money for his company before. Like I said, it's about 9 years old. It's on about an $8 to $10 million run rate right now, and profitable. And we're doing a convertible debt for $3 million, 8.5 coupon, and it's convertible at any time along the strata. It's an LLC, so we're going to be making distributions. It's convertible at any time before the 3-year expiration on it. And it'll be convertible into 20% of the company, so you got pre-money of $12 million on a $7 million run rate, which is pretty fair, I think. Go ahead. Oh, it's not, and yeah, it's not a 6. It's an 8.5 coupon. Sorry, that was before I built the book. We just went to print today on the offering memorandum, which we have in our booth. Next one. Okay, that's it. So that's the offering on ArcLED. It's actually called the Charging Station. That's the new company we set up to put the revenue share in place. Like I said, we've got 8 units out in 24-hour fitness. We're building more. The purpose of the use of proceeds of this offering is to build 50 more units to go put into the revenue share model. Our actual cost of production is somewhere between $55,000 and $60,000 for these high-grade units that we'll be doing revenue share on. The payout is like 11 months on the revenue share, and it's it's quite profitable. I was fighting with Mike a little bit about it. I said, let's just build beds and sell them. We got a 50-60% margin, and let's just sell the heck out of them. He says, you got to look at this revenue share. And when we modeled it out, I was converted. I was converted right then. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about hyperbaric since I got a little bit of time left. That's my chamber that I have in my house. So I get in it, 3 or 4 days a week, and it's changed my life. I've got over 600 hours of hyperbaric. I dropped 60 pounds. I'm sharper now than when I ran my capital markets group, my investment bank. We did my last year in the business. I ran about $4.25 billion through the firm in transaction value, and I'm sharper now, 20 years later, than I was back then because of all the hyperbaric. I'm feeling it. Next slide. This is what I will be debuting at A4M. Are y'all familiar with A4M? It's the oldest anti-aging regenerative medicine certifying group. They do board certifications in anti-aging and stem cells. I'm debuting this chamber. This is the world's first titanium chamber, built out of titanium. I've got 2 prototypes in the build process right now. They're at the polish lab. We're doing interiors, things like that. But so we're going to be showing that product to the world when we get there in December. Next slide. How many of y'all know whose logo that is? Nobody? Anybody hear Joe Rogan? That's the chamber I put in his garage for him. He did me a real solid favor during the COVID days, and I gave him a chamber to put in his garage. Right, next one. So it's Joe's Wellness Mothership, kind of a takeoff on his comedy mothership that he built in Austin, which is a whole lot of fun. If you come to Austin, you got to go to that. Next one. This is a typical customer installation for our old school chambers, which look like propane tanks, but they're very functional. They go up to 2.4 ATA, and you get all the longevity treatments you need for those. This is our clinic in Round Rock. We actually have 6 chambers in there now. We're opening up our 3rd clinic in Lakeway, out into the suburb outside of Austin, in about a month and a half once we get our gas permit. Right? That's it. All right. So, in a nutshell, hyperbaric is the best thing you can do for your body and your brain and your longevity. The Israelis came up with a study a few years back that showed that they can extend your telomere length 25 to 35% and get rid of your senescent cells. And that's the holy grail of anti-aging. That is a literal time machine. My wife calls these time machines now because they will give you more time on Earth. And so if you got any questions about hyperbarics, you want one for your own, you want a light bed, we've got a home model. The new price point's at $49,000 for this light bed. And it's an amazing piece of equipment. We're going into lots of wellness clinics, and lots of chains are coming and talking to us about volume purchasing on this. And I think the company is going to be a very good success. So the only way you'll be able to get into that anytime soon is this debt offering. And then when you convert to equity, you should be seeing dividend income off of it because it's a cash flow positive company. Thank you for your time today. Appreciate everything. Come by and see me at the booth. Thanks, sir.